now tuned in to the Free Play Media Podcast Network.
We are live, and live we are. Chris Denman, we're here.
I'm Malia Obama.
I'm Jada Foster.
Hey, Jada's here. What about, we have anybody else in the room?
Yeah. John Kelly.
Here.
John Kelly. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. I was trying to think of a white person in the Obama administration, and I struck out.
I'm going to say something. All 95% of them?
Uncle Joe. The plagiarist.
I'm
himself.
Joe Biden.
There you go.
Oh.
Hey, everybody. It's We Are Live, and we're doing this from 1300 Hampton. Getting it done today. Before we get into it, got to tell you about Presence Float Center. Use promo code WAL if it's good enough for Sherry Shepard, who's been on numerous NBC shows. Friends, you ever heard of it? 30 Rock, little up and coming thing. She's even on a show called Trial and Error with John Lithgow. He's an up and coming actor.
He's decent.
He's
Emmy
okay.
Award winner, in fact.
Sherry went and enjoyed Presence Float Center. You should too. Use promo code WAL in Town and Country, just outside of St. Louis. A quick drive, the only thing that will pull me out of the city, Travis.
You hate the highway.
I do.
You hate it
I don't
with
care
your
for
heart.
it. And now there's a state trooper every 3 minutes. So you have to look out for that as well. Also got to tell you about I can almost say Bird and Barrel, the chicken place. Barrel Beard and Tattoo Oil. Had lunch with Jeremy yesterday. What a glorious beard.
Not only that, Chris, big news. Happy to announce we're friends on Facebook.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
official.
I know. It's real. It's happening.
yeah, absolutely. Check it out. Good for your skin as well, so you don't have to have the beard, and you can get your elbows unashified.
Unashify those elbows.
That's right. Barrel, beard, and tattoo. Make it happen, people.
Hey, in regards to that particular product, I don't know if you guys have noticed. See how fucking luscious my beard is? Luscious.
Would you call it luscious, Jada?
It's not luscious, babe.
Okay.
It would be if it was anyone else.
It's
And
on the way.
It's on the way of lusciousness.
Yeah, we're like 20% luscious.
Okay. That's good. Because like a couple weeks ago before I started using the oil, it was about 2% lush.
Yeah.
So in a matter of 2.5,
Stepping it
3
up.
weeks, it's become 20% luscious.
I got to trim my beard in like 3 hours.
Yeah?
Like, yeah.
What do you
Why?
got going on?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go to the game tonight, and I feel I just gotta
Let's
spruce.
go ahead and do this.
I got to
So,
spruce.
Let's go ahead and do this. So
Okay.
Jada walked in here contemplating jumping off a cliff.
Don't do it, baby girl. Don't do it.
Jeff has a grumpy air about him that Jada immediately called out.
Have I
upon
been
entering here.
unusually grumpy lately?
You're
little
tired.
bit.
You're a little testy.
Yeah,
You're
that's fair.
And but that's okay to call out because that means that you're always a good guy. Because if you're a dick all the time, or
Like
or-
Jeff being
it's
Jeff.
unusual.
That's
then
true.
you're just like,
True.
yeah, that's
It's just
classic.
confusing because your nature is like happy. Your
getting
baseline
grounded.
is happy.
I am jovial by nature.
I think what's happening, and look,
It's like young Santa.
it's when it
What a
comes down to it.
compliment. Wow.
Young Santa.
Yeah, hey,
I do have a
Jada
Santa
knows how to
suit.
put him in a good mood.
Yeah, that's a.
I-
Santa's the best. Who doesn't love Santa?
I've
Boy.
worn a Santa suit to a bar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Jeff will do just about anything to make it happen, to get that reindeer love.
Like, will Chris Farley do it? I'll do it.
I mean, not the speedball probably, but the rest of it.
Generally. Jeff, I'm going to give you this opportunity to make preseason hockey exciting
Okay.
to Jada. 'Cause
Yeah.
Jada, are you, first of all, Jada, are you a hockey person?
I think it's cool because
No,
it's
you can be honest with this. It's all right.
I just don't care about sports.
There you go. Okay, so now you have an opportunity.
I'm more of like I want to play. I don't want to sit and watch.
Okay, you're a woman. You don't get to play hockey. So,
Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that later.
Yeah, I kid.
Just
I'm
save
just
that
being
one.
a
Save
sexist
it.
because it cheers Jada's up. All right, make your case. Why should I be concerned about your preseason hockey game tonight?
Why should you be concerned, or why should Jada be concerned?
Why should we all, frankly, be
Well,
concerned?
because I would make the pitch differently to different people.
Okay, make it to Jada.
Why I should make it to Jada?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like 22-year-old 6'4" Scandinavians who are going to be around. That's a plus.
What
That's
is
good.
that supposed to do it for me?
I mean, it's a start. I
Who
don't know.
doesn't love
I am
Scandinavian
10 years.
women?
I was starting my period the year those kids were
Ooh.
born.
Yeah, but like you can. I mean, you could pull off pretending that you're also 24 and just be like, hey.
What
Not
about Chris? Make the case for
interested.
Chris. And he has his hat on backwards.
What would we even talk about?
I have a
It's not
blues
even-
hat.
The
That's
case to
blue hat.
Chris is that there will be local media people in attendance, and so it's a way for him to go network.
There you go.
Connections.
All right, now me.
Pascal.
Oh, well, let's go. So the brother who's hosting it, and I'm there.
Yeah, congrats to Pascal. That's awesome.
Jeff,
That's,
you're quick.
Believe me, I'm all over it. I've been at that damn rink so much in the last 5 days.
You're doing a
You're
great
quick.
job.
That's not the first time a woman
Let's,
said that out loud.
It's
true.
Oh,
Hey,
Travis
I'm talking
got
about I'm talking about the sex
All
life.
right, what's bothering everybody? Jada walked in. What's going on with you,
The
Jada?
same thing is bothering all of us. We can start with that because nobody's got any fucking money. Like that's the same thing.
Okay,
That's the same
that's
thing as
exactly what
bothering
it
everyone.
is.
not-
We're trying to adult while pursuing our art, and by adulting it means like our bills are covered, right?
Yeah.
And then some. So we can go out and have fun,
In
not
theory.
really worry about it. You go out for a week and you come back, you're not like, oh God, like I'm over budget. Isn't that what we're all
the beauty
wanting?
of it is you can go work for a quote steady job and have just as much trouble, and then on top of that you have no you're stuck in that frame that you make, right? So I don't know, maybe if you make whatever an hour,
Right.
that's what you're going to make unless you go get another job where it's like stuff like this, you have to deal with the ebbs and flows of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
The highs are real high. If you have a really good, we're all in different positions in this area, but you do have those opportunities to at least kind of control your destiny.
Right.
I think that's what a lot of people deal with consistent jobs. They feel trapped, super trapped, which is what leads everybody to pursue something like this in a small business.
I would
sense.
even take it a little bit step further than what Jeff, how he broke it down. I think it ultimately comes down to you put in so much work, you put in so much energy, you tap into so many of your resources in order to get to that point where you can say you have X, Y, and Z, especially when it comes to your finances. So all of us here in this studio bust their ass. And a lot of times when you're busting your ass and you're putting so much energy into it and you're eating like shit and you're getting 4 hours of sleep and then you're having to deal with parents and friends and loved ones and you're hoping at the end of that rainbow there's something waiting for you. And sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. So I think it comes down to everyone really giving it their all, and ultimately when you give your all, you want to be properly rewarded for that effort that
Hey,
you put
good
in.
news. It never ends.
No, of course not.
That's the thing,
level,
like,
at the highest level,
Yes.
people who are stars. Granted, okay, yeah, you have your car payment covered now and your house payment's covered, but then this hustle thing never ends. Never
Hustle never sleeps.
Well, and that's the
my
thing.
rap
Like,
album.
you're not, you shouldn't look over the fence, right? Like, just deal with your own yard. But fucking sucks to look over the fence and see somebody that you don't think is as good as you or that doesn't work as hard as you being way more successful.
But to Chris's
Sucks.
point, that's the way it is.
Right, no, for sure.
And it does. And I understand that frustration as well. Look, we work in a town where mediocrity is often rewarded. Let's keep
lot
it
of
100.
recycling.
A lot of recycling. And that's unfortunately part of the industry, part of the business. It is what it is.
Well, and
But-
I also think the environment has been dog shit over the last week, which doesn't help.
No, I think that's a huge thing.
Everything is fucking angry and depressed around here, and it's also 95 degrees with 1,000% humidity.
That's what-
like,
In mid-September.
motherfuck,
In
yeah,
mid-September.
like give me 65 fucking degrees, and I would already
that part. I thought it was
some big man honesty.
No,
Very
it's true. I thought it was the morning after pill I took, but when you say it like that,
no,
it's like
blows.
totally the
I
weather.
was telling people, like, I'm wearing this gray shirt right now. It's warm in the studio. It's warm in the front studio. Like, this shirt was pitted the fuck out at 8:45 this morning. Sucks, but it sucks.
At least we have this outlet to come bitch about it. That happened with me yesterday. I was literally like, I was struggling. Like, so I love recording, right? We love doing this stuff. We wouldn't do all this shit if we didn't love it. I was going to record National Bag Radio, download it, Free Play Media Podcast Network.
National Bag Radio.
No, I was time to record.
Sorry.
And I'm holding my phone ready to text Ian to say, I'm not going to do it this week. Literally sitting there. And he's like, hey, we up in a few minutes? Well, what's going on? I'll be ready. And then I shouldn't back out of it. I tell myself it. And then I come here and we go 1 hour and 10 minutes and have a blast.
right.
But
on the way over here, I was like, I'm going to cancel. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have the capacity to do this week. And then it was like, Jada, just remember your goals.
And not to make excuses, Jeff, but you nailed it on the goddamn head. Like, there's a you can feel it in the air.
It's whack.
It fucking
Gross.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
you have everybody, whether they're right or not, expressing their opinions. Everybody making these heartfelt pleas for whatever. I'm not even going to say side, just for whatever is on their mind that moment. People trying to correct other people. People trying to tell everybody how it is, and this is you, and this. And it's. I don't think we're built for it, and we
I think
see
you
too
made
much of it. Think about if we didn't have social media,
There
you
you
just
go.
simply wouldn't.
It
hear
never
it.
goes away.
Yeah.
I think
Never
you made
goes
a point
away.
a couple weeks ago, a couple pods ago, to that point about how technology has created these platforms, and when that technology is readily available at your fingertips every second of the day, and you're consuming that content and information that's at your fingertips every single day, it does wear on your soul. You can't, like, even if you wanted to go to social media right now and just maybe find out what's going on with your local church or your local sports team.
Checking in on churches
Well,
online.
from time to time. You know, God bless thee.
Just in case.
Just in
I need to
case,
be
just in case.
saved.
I just
It is
know
The one
what
in
safe spaces
Chesterfield
are, Chris.
that has a live camera. There's a lot of hot girls that go there.
It is Rosh Hashanah today, I think.
Oh,
relax.
yay.
Thank
you. I know.
Celebrate.
But
That's
in
a
that
church.
regard, I think having
You should
that,
just marry a Jewish woman, right?
I tried a couple times.
Nice. I like his honesty and
Just
strategy.
like 5 years ahead of you, dumbass.
Right. Fucking 10. Are you kidding?
But you're right. To that point, it used to be, you don't like it, just turn the TV off. Well, I need to send emails,
I gotta
but I
check
keep
weather.
getting this
You
damn alert
can't
from
turn it off.
CNN.
That's the thing.
Right.
And when you do turn it off, we are literally addicted to the little hits of dopamine that we get from all of that contact.
Yeah,
Right?
That's
Well,
a good point.
Like-
That's why I haven't left the fucking rink in a week, because I can sit my ass on the bleachers and talk to people and bullshit and watch people fucking ring pucks off a goalpost, and nothing else is going on at that moment. It is
so
quiet
nice.
as fuck in that rink. Besides, then that's fine.
But to that outlet, to that
with
point,
that.
I think that's something that people need to genuinely explore, though, and not outside of us. Like, the reason why.
What do you mean? Explore social
Okay.
media or
Well,
explore not social media?
No. Everything but social media.
Right. Have a
So,
life outside of your
exactly.
phone.
And that's one thing.
As I pull up the Instagram to live
We
stream this.
said no cell phones when we're
Hey, we're
recording.
on Instagram, though. Hey, Instagram.
It has been funny. We've been sitting here, and Jada was like, your phone's in the middle, and my watch has buzzed with a text from Chris like 3 times.
Yeah, I
in
know.
11
I'm
minutes.
sitting right next to him watching it.
There you go.
Shithead.
But you know what? But it's because he wants to make somebody some fucking money in here, like, and that's like,
I totally
that's part
get
of
that.
it. It just,
But that's also the
it
thing.
sucks.
Like, I'm always conflicted because it's like, okay, you need a social media presence to expand your product, which is you, right?
Absolutely.
But then at the same time, whenever you're creating the content that is a part that parlays like into the product, that is actually not even that, it is the product. Are you still building the product on social media when you need to be present for the conversations that are the product? That's where I'm always conflicted with whenever we're doing radio. It's like
it's a deadly wormhole. I mean,
Right?
but it's a necessity in
because
regards to
because the thing with the radio is like dividing up the time that you spend selling the content and the time that you spend making the content is fucking hard, because you have to devote so much time to selling it that it eats into the time you take to make the content itself better. But then what are you selling? Like,
Right.
it's this terrible fucking black hole of like, what do we do to fix that? And I don't know.
But
I
also-
I don't know
like,
if
I
there's
don't-
a
We're sitting here
solution.
bitching. We've grown 5,000%.
Right, yeah.
In under 2 years, and I'm agreeing with everything everybody's saying. It's still just like, well, saddle up, because it's not ending anytime soon.
Right.
If you want to compete and grow, you got to go spend 32 hours at
Right.
Lou Fest handing out soda. You have to go spend 14 hours at our second anniversary party, October 21st, when we have that. We have to go have a comedy night where we show up 2 hours before and stay an hour after. That, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you
But
gotta-
also,
you
I
have to.
think, but in all reality, also, and I think the reason why we're driven to do those things is because of our ambition to get to a certain spot in our career or our lives. But with that being said, I think it's important that we start conditioning ourselves, training ourselves to find that outlet, whatever that may be, that's not work related. We do need 2 hours out of a day, or maybe 5 hours out of a week at some point, to just turn it off. And I know it's difficult.
Oh my
it's very
God.
difficult to
oh,
do.
it's super difficult. But you
Especially
can
when
see
you're in a relationship. You guys are in 2 serious relationships, and that's when you're managing emotions and people's personalities all the time, and you want to be there for the people that are in your lives, but at the same time you want 20, 30, 60 minutes to yourself
Oh,
sometimes.
my
Then you
God.
need it. You kind of need
No,
it.
like a days or a weekend.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just and I don't
Which
want
is
it
not
for
offending. You're not offending.
I'm
the
not.
No.
It's not
partner.
that I don't want to be around my person. It's that I don't want to be around anybody. I just need to sit quietly and feel zero and process thoughts and sleep. And like whenever the best thing ever was whenever I went to go shoot that movie, and we had our own
humble brag.
place
I'm
to
an actress, big time.
whatever. Yeah, that's
She's like,
hey.
"I
why?
have an outhouse."
Why am I here?
Just skip to the story about the fuck scene.
Yeah.
wow, that's what's
Jeffy,
been
come
bothering me.
on.
That is gross. And she is a woman and a liberal. You know better.
And you are also a feminist and a
Oh,
liberal.
Jeff.
That's why I get to make that joke.
No, baby, not
Cool.
you.
It's
like- it's
don't
like-
get to
it's
make
like how
that
Travis
joke.
can say the N-word.
Do you see
Hey, wait a
how,
minute,
like,
I don't say-
how shocked and sad I just
can
was
here.
I
because
don't
it
say
was
ninjas.
Jeff, not
That's
Travis?
true.
I was
That's
just
true.
like, no, Jeff.
That's true.
Will you say the N-bomb a couple times?
No, I
Travis?
will not.
Oh, come on.
Nigga, please.
One. There's
All
one.
right, that's enough. Now iTunes is gonna pull our pod. Thanks a lot.
No.
Yeah.
We already got the E.
On Race Wars on Sirius XM, they bless it, and all people can
Oh,
say
bless
it.
it.
Oh, wow.
No, Sherrod Small blesses it, and Kurt Metzger said they say the N-word.
Look,
I like that.
I'll tell you right now,
Because they say
I'm
it's
not
silly
saying
for
the N-word.
adults to say the N-word.
Chris
Like
ain't
that
Kurt
phrase.
Metzger, and you ain't pulling in Kurt. When we start pulling in Kurt Metzger money, then we can do that.
There you go.
We won't. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying that.
It's fine, whatever.
No, go
I'm
for it. What was your
learning
story,
to become more flexible in my life and stop holding to people to unrealistic standards.
But what are you talking about in regards to your trip when you were in the woods?
Oh, I
making the
just
movie?
had like everything was taken care of. The meals 3 times a day. I got to sleep, and then I got paid to be emotional, and that was awesome.
Wow, are you a millionaire now? 'Cause you're really good at that.
I want that. That's all I want. I was like, if there's a safe place for me to be emotional and be paid for it, it's going to be in front of a
Do you
camera.
not
They meter it. The more emotional she gets, the more she gets
Oh,
paid.
it's true.
They would
And with this
break-
horror
Jada
film,
would
they're
break
like,
that budget.
we want you to scream and cry more. I'm like, done. Thank you.
Do you now? You probably
Well, you played
always.
sports growing up, didn't you?
Yeah.
What'd you play?
I played volleyball and soccer. I swam and then basketball.
And you now lack that. I think about that sometimes too. Think about how busy you were doing those things and how mindless those became by the time. Did you play all the way through high school?
No, I switched halfway through and started doing theater.
And then the craziness started appearing, correct?
Well, yeah, there wasn't like, I didn't have the competitive outlet.
Competitive
what
outlet
I'm
is
saying.
huge.
That's what I need.
totally-
like,
that's
I'm
what
a
you
warrior
need.
and
That
I
is-
need
that's
that
why you
fight.
need that.
That's what you need.
That is why I like playing tournament poker. Like I don't like the money is whatever, and it's like it's
Mentally,
not
it
it's not a cheat.
exercises.
Yes, I need to do something to compete against
And
someone.
that's
Right.
one thing I've
intellectually.
noticed.
That's why
with
you'll
all
never
of
meet a
us.
true like fighter, like a mixed martial arts guy. He's not picking a fight in a bar. He gets it all out in practice. You know what I mean?
I have the option to do jujitsu,
Yeah.
where I'm doing like personal training things, and I'm
Who
thinking
with?
about it. His name's Steve McKinney, and it's at Fitness and More. His son is Josh McKinney, and I
It
think
sounds familiar.
yeah, he's been doing it since he was a kid, and he's doing super well. Like they just won a tournament this
awesome.
weekend, so that's who I would be learning from.
Chris, I do trunk jitsu, where if
Right.
someone starts something with me, I go to my trunk.
Yes.
And there's
I thought you said
usually-
Trump.
I also thought you said Trump.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be
was like, what is
great.
that?
You end every
Huge-
argument with "I'm
huge
smarter
fight."
than you."
Yeah,
I just go to people. You're sad. I go now.
I won't lend this to making excuse because like just the way we operate, I'm all about action, and it's like, listen, for good or for bad, I know what it takes to be in shape, to get those sales calls in, to get new opportunities. So I'm not one for these kind of up in the ether issues.
Sure.
There has to be something with our national status.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now with Trump. And listen, if you would be like, well, he's triggering people daily, I'd be like, get fucked and work harder. Like I would literally say that. At the same time, I have to concede there's got to be something just taking the man out of it, whatever else. Just the coverage and the totality of things that
Right.
are talked about can lead to stress.
I'm
Well,
not even
think
kidding.
about
I think that the election was one of the contributing factors into my relationship. I really, truly do. Like living in DC,
Right.
The stress that came out of that, each of our individual reactions to that occurring, and the social groups that we had
And you
around.
guys were same politically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just mean like just living in that cloud of fear and stress and bullshit drove everyone's anxiety through the roof
Right.
for that last month of the year, and then it just create like the more you feel stressed and anxious and in a shitty mood, the deeper those wedges go on stuff that would otherwise not be a big deal.
Good point.
I mean, I really think it was a contributing factor for sure.
I
No
can see
doubt.
that. I can absolutely see
And I
that.
don't want to sound like people searching for excuses, but I think that it's worth mentioning.
It's
Where
totally
like,
worth mentioning.
And I
Well,
don't
think about
twice
whenever
about it,
think about whenever you're in a work setting and your boss is a piece of shit, like angry all of the time, passive aggressive,
Sucks.
Yet like totally sucks. We're in the Chris.
You haven't fucking seen
Chris
angry
sucks.
fucking pussy.
Everybody fucking hates.
Everyone stare at Chris.
God. Oh my God.
By the way, why y'all staring at Chris for? We the boss this
for-
week? What kind of shit is this?
He just assumes he's the
Which-
boss
which-
because he's white.
Here.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Gaines not
Yeah.
here.
It doesn't have anything to do
Hey,
with.
can we talk
right.
about what happened to Gaines?
Man, Gaines, drug dealer,
No,
selling
there it
drugs
is.
now. So we
He's
just
here
let
every
him.
So,
morning
but
around
like,
Oh, yeah.
if he shows up.
So when you have a shitty boss, think about it, you have a shitty leader. Period. Everybody, you're gonna have a reaction to that, and people are gonna start operating based on the feedback they're getting from that leader. And people think that they're not susceptible to it, but I do believe like subconsciously. It is totally, I mean, we know this. It's affecting the collective. And I'm using my like hippity-dippity consciousness language, but I mean, the ruler, the person that takes up the most emotional space dictates the entire room. So imagine having it like we do, having an emotionally unstable leader and how that's affecting everybody.
I think
right?
from a day-to-day standpoint,
Causes more shouting, that's for sure.
It's
Absolutely.
shouting,
And
it's jarring for the system, like
right.
you know.
I think for me personally, and it's been a matter of there were a set of rules that were established for everyone, okay, and then you follow said set of rules, and then the metrics ultimately change halfway through the game, and then you adjust, and then again the metrics change again, and then you adjust, and then when you acknowledge that those metrics have been changed, people say to you, well, you need to stop making excuses. And so that builds up over time. And I think that's ultimately where it feels like for a lot of people, black, white, etc., male, female today, is that it feels like the system has been gamed. We've been told from the time we were younger that these are the rules. This is what you play by. And now you get to that point in your life, now folks are telling you, well, actually, there's fine print. It's like towards the, when they kids and get into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and they didn't read the very fine print at the very bottom, but they signed anyway because they wanted the candy. That's where we are in our story right now. Willy Wonka is telling us, good day, sir, and get the fuck out of his factory. And we're kind of pissed off about it.
Yo, give me the fucking blueberry gum right now.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
I'm fine.
So I think
Give me
that's
that
where we are.
shit. I'll
But I want a golden goose now, Daddy.
She's good. That's an actress in there. Do you have now, from your standpoint, do you have a greater appreciation now for entertainers, actors, actresses? Maybe you already had, now going through that experience, you doing a film like that, having that creative outlet, and now understanding why sometimes we use the example of the Jim Carreys of the world, why these celebrities or actors get to a point mentally where they're just like, it made to us seem like they're out of touch, but this is the world I've always technically wanted to be in.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand the question.
Do you have a greater appreciation now for those
to
who
give
are
more
immersed?
leeway to people who lose it, who are at a higher
Right.
level.
Do you
when you see Kanye West
Right.
going berserk in a thing, you're like, he just drove around all day. For the last 10 years, he's been able to sleep with any woman he wants. He's been told no effectively 0 times. How the fuck would you act?
Well,
Things
that's the thing.
change.
Yeah, like you turn into, I think you revert to adolescent behavior because you lack an appreciation for things. As far as like appreciating the process or like understanding freakouts, I think no matter what career you're in, you're going to have a fucking meltdown. I think what matters, or it depends on what the meltdown looks like, is your level of responsibility to other people. I think when people are more responsible to a family, more responsible to a community, more responsible to a spouse,
For sure.
there's something grounding there. So the expression of the crazy has a different form than it does when you are not. Like when you get to be a Kim Kardashian or a Kanye West, like there's no repercussion for their freakouts. They can freak out however they want. They will still have financial stability, and they are not accountable. Like it's not going to affect their overall well-being because their finances will not be affected. There's no dependency, right?
What do we need? Shelter, food, and people.
Food,
and people around
and
you.
people. But even then, whenever you have shelter and food cared for, you care for people differently. But whenever your shelter and food are dependent on a relationship with another person,
Bet
then
your
you
ass.
behave differently.
Wow,
Way
that's a
differently.
good point.
You have something
Yeah.
to lose. It's consequences.
When you have things to lose, then your behavior is significantly different than when you do not.
That's where I think we fuck up and not believe it. So you'll have like older people that are sticklers about the rules.
Yeah.
And then we're like, why are they doing this? This is so stupid.
Right.
You're wasting your time. What are you
Right.
doing? And then you realize whenever you fail, it was fun to go on that ride. But then whenever you fail, it's like, oh, I guess if I would have followed this step and, not been late or not, you know what I mean? Those little things that maybe us in different generations were like, what the fuck? Why is he
Yeah.
freaking out?
Well, this-
what's their deal?
Totally.
Because you can lose everything.
Well, yeah, like that's the whole like everyone glorifies the good old days. And I think one of the aspects they glorify is the fact that people kept their word. They did what they said they were supposed to do because your reputation in your community was dependent on your behavior.
See, now I would then challenge that. I would say the reason why people appreciate the good old days because we were able to create these worlds and these certain truths.
Oh.
But no one was able to necessarily be there to challenge that. One thing that is unique about today's technology and social media platforms is that you get exposed. You can't sit up here and say, "Oh yeah," like right now. How many you look at the most recent divorces over the last 5 years and how Facebook plays a role in those divorces.
Yeah.
People learn that.
That sales guy was always out flirting with secretary.
Right.
Now you're getting caught because you pressed
When
like.
you find guys, you'll see it in the newspaper almost every other week. A guy that has a second family across town becomes exposed because of something like social
Used to,
media.
kids would grow up and find out.
Totally.
out.
Now they find out.
Look, interesting.
No, you all. I just had this situation. I received 2 separate messages, one on my LinkedIn profile and one on my Facebook profile, and I received a video.
People trolling?
It was.
Wait, you received a video?
I received 2 videos.
Let's break it down. Let's.
Yeah. So I get a secret message.
Secret message. What's that mean?
There's like an option to have secret conversations on Facebook now.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I was like,
That is
Like,
scary.
is it
What the
already
hell?
yeah.
secret?
No.
Does
So
it
I
go
get.
away or something?
Yeah, so he
Oh, it
sent
can't
me
say.
2 videos that expired, and it was him like viciously like he was touching himself, and it was in a very abusive way. So he sent me 2 videos. They expired. Above it, like the last message was "dominate me." I sent him a message, and I
Local
was
guy?
like, "Yeah."
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, we've already that's the
Okay.
thing. So, and I talked
What
to him
the
a little bit.
fuck?
Yeah, and I talked to him a little bit, and then I was like, "Listen, this is inappropriate. What are you doing? If you've done this to other women?" And so I made a public post like, if you've seen this person, if he's messaged you,
Oh, my.
do not engage. So he starts messaging me and asks me to take it down. He's like, "I work here and I'm in a photo with my mother. Like, please don't do this. It was an
Jesus.
accident. I meant to send it to my girlfriend, Sarah." My name on Facebook, it doesn't look like Sarah on there. It's spelled
actually
very
really weird.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
And so
Jeff has gotten quiet.
he's just sleepy and he wants to make some soup.
No, I'm thinking about the videos I got to delete now.
Yeah.
Can those be pulled back?
Right. No, that's the thing. It expired, so I have no proof, right? No
Right,
proof. This
right.
guy sends whatever he wants. It's super
So you would
jarring.
have had to been like filming with your phone as it popped up.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Or take a screenshot as it happens. So I tell my person about it, and he's like, report him. And I'm like, no, I think it was an accident.
Your person is a physically fit person, not an aggressive person. He wasn't immediately like, I wanted to beat the guy.
Oh, yeah, that's how he felt.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I was curious.
for
That's
sure.
how I would react.
But
too.
we're both-
then what are you
yeah.
gonna do?
But you
get
ain't
assault
not to be
charges?
funny,
Yeah,
but you
he
ain't do
doesn't-
somebody a
yeah,
window.
Yeah,
You
he
have to
doesn't
end
know the
day.
person. We're in my hometown, like,
Right.
you know. So I was like, okay, I let it go. Then I get on my LinkedIn profile a week later. It
Oh,
says,
no.
Same person?
yeah, dominate
Oh, no.
me, fuck me
Oh,
in the
no.
ass.
Oh,
I get
boy.
that message, and then I show Alex,
This got
Oh,
real.
and
boy.
Alex
graphic.
is like, nope, fuck this. So it was twice, and
That's
I was
right.
like, okay,
Wait, after you dealt with it on Facebook?
yep.
Yeah.
So we did it again. So we contact the police, and it's still considered sexual harassment, even if it's over Facebook.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So they go to his work. They go to his home. They're like, if you do this again,
Nice.
and this is my 3rd
Get that
incident.
ass.
This is the 3rd time I've dealt with something like this in my hometown. It's
That's horrible.
infuriating. And it's not like, and if anyone's like, she's asking for it, no. No.
Have you seen how terrible she dresses?
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen me? I'm in
I'm
workout
joking.
clothes
I'm
all
totally
of the
joking.
time.
I'm
I'm
gonna
telling you,
Jada's in
it's
here
the
with a
runoff.
turtleneck.
It's the runoff from the steel mill.
Yeah, that's what it's
Seriously,
affecting
that
their
is-
mental.
like, I know we're kind of
their
laughing at-
prefrontal cortex
Yeah.
for making judgments.
We're kind of laughing about it just because it's so extreme, but like that's seriously like that's messed up. Like those are the things that whenever you see that person out and your person's had a couple drinks and maybe they can't do it, that's what gets bottles smashed in people's
Totally.
faces. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You
Totally.
think I'm a bitch?
But
Like,
I mean,
what?
I guess that would be an example of maybe the good old days, where in the good old days you just have
Could've taken care of it.
Willie the Flasher, here comes Willie coming down Kings Highway again,
Right.
That's a
being
great thing.
stupid. But now
Yeah.
you got people, they can hide themselves in help me with this word.
Anonymity.
There we go. That word always just jumps, and man, it's just like raw chicken in my mouth. But
raw chicken jump.
yeah, but no, but people can hide behind screen names. And
Well, that's the thing. You
avatar
can't get the
eggs.
reaction from the person.
Right.
And so, yeah.
tough
So
to get punched over in the face.
it's
over.
tough. And then,
So wait, so that got dealt with?
oh, it got dealt with. And
Wow.
luckily,
Good for you guys for dealing like that because.
Well, it was mostly Alex. He was like, "This is bullshit, and you don't have to
Absolutely
tolerate it."
bullshit.
Right? But I'm under the like, it's the societal thing where I'm like, "Oh, this poor person, he didn't mean it," you know.
Yeah.
But people fucking mean it, and people are shitty, and I'm learning this, and it sucks because my nature is like all people are good, and they
Yeah.
deserve a chance, and like. Men do this and it's an accident. But in my experience, it's very
an
intentional.
accident.
Remember
yeah.
when
It's a boundary testing thing.
When-
It's something
Totally.
with toddlers.
It's
Remember-
like 3 and 4 year olds.
Remember when it
Good.
came out? I remember when it first hit theaters. I remember it was right in the heart of the huge peak period for social media is when The Purge dropped. Everyone was like, that is so ridiculous. 3 movies later, I'm like, seriously, we should write legislation considering this.
let
Right.
people
There maybe
get out and
we
release
should-
their
I think-
insanity.
I don't know. But as far as that outlet, there is, I don't know, people have a lot bottled up right now. And I think that's why these breakdowns happen. And I'm not making excuses for this guy whatsoever. I'm not saying that he's part of that analogy, but I think it's at the
Yeah,
point
it's been happening
where-
for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
There's really no
And
excuse at this
and I think
point
it's-
other than the system.
And as you continue to go through life, and Chris, you made the point, like, this is all, the hustle never stops. It never sleeps. You're always going to be out here putting in that grind. But having that outlet, I don't know what it is for you guys, man, but that crack,
yeah.
crack, great.
So
It
wait,
really gets it out of my system.
What's the final thing with this? This guy got like a serious warning on the record.
Yeah, and then I go and I get an order of protection. So if he does anything again,
Did
he
you?
gets
Or are you
arrested.
going to?
I'm going tomorrow.
Wow.
Here's what I
On my day off, I get to go to the Edwardsville courthouse.
Well, I tell
but
you
this
what.
is, do you know what's
It's a nice
fucked up, you
courthouse.
all? This is the second time I've had to do something like
With a
this.
different person?
Different person
Completely
in public.
unprovoked. Completely unprovoked.
Licked his fingers, stared me in the eye, and reached around and stuck them inside of my butt.
Alrighty.
Didn't know him.
What?
I was at a bar where I was not drinking. I just got done taking photos for my friend's fundraiser. He got charged with a class 1 felony. It was all on video. Like, he had 12 misdemeanors against him anyway. But do you know what's so sad is that the guys at the bar had justified the behavior. They're like, oh, well, he's on coke. Oh,
What?
people do like
No.
weird things when they're drinking. I don't even go out anymore. Like, cause that's the response. I'm scared to apply for certain jobs, knowing
That's
what is
horrible.
possible. Yeah.
That's the thing where I'm like, man, old 26-year-old Chris who would fight in bars needs to come back. Like, that's like literally, I would contemplate like really fucking somebody up if that happened.
Now
Yeah.
that part right there, that I think is incredibly devastating. Not only because he put his dirty fucking hands on you,
licked
to
me,
begin
licked them
with,
Hannibal Lecter style.
that
Looked me in the
itself,
eye.
But for someone to justify that and again, I know
thank
we
God
weren't there,
it's
but
not
I
a-
would imagine again, but look, and we say this oftentimes, and especially when it comes to certain race issues, but ultimately, men have to. I'm not saying you have to be white knight with it, but that's when you have to say, listen here.
Well, that's-
This
yeah.
don't fucking. I don't give a fuck
Well,
if you were doing meth in the bar.
Right.
There's no grounds
Imagine
for
that
that.
was your sister.
Oh
I
my
would,
God.
I would way rather have someone doing meth in the bar, frankly.
But I
than
wouldn't
doing
even.
that
I wouldn't.
shit.
Even, I know.
Right.
And the easy thing is oftentimes to say, imagine if you had a sister or a mother or a sister. Just at the end of the day, common human
Right.
decency.
These are
Right.
people.
These
Right,
are human beings, and for someone and to justify that because he's on a narcotic, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in the history of man.
I know.
I'm sorry. You know what? That won't happen at our anniversary party. That will not happen. At
Well, that's the thing. It just depends.
Radio
Honestly,
host
like
charged with
I'm
manslaughter.
I'm gonna fuck Cankles up.
Don't say that.
no, let's not speculate.
I was kidding. I was kidding. That was a joke.
Let's
That was a joke for somebody who I know can take
We're
it.
gonna edit that out.
Yeah, so it's about respect. Okay, so to bring this back to a happy place, everything works out. Everything we're working for.
But I have a question then.
Go ahead.
So this is where, because so instead of me giving relationship things, I need help from you all.
Let's do it. That's what we're here to do at We Are Live.
Okay.
I thought we were bringing this back to the positive.
It's in the same thing. It is positive. It is positive. So I dove headfirst whenever I moved home into like all of this, the art, the acting, booking plays, to all of the things. Now I'm at a place where I have like my art worked out and I have experience. And I have you all, and I have all of these things that are in line with what I'm doing, but my bank account does not reflect any of it, and I'm struggling financially. So what do I know I need to get a job, but by getting this job, which the job that I'm applying for is very corporate, and it has to do with education, like, am I forfeiting my dream?
No, because you need to be able to pay for essentials. I mean, that's how it goes. Like, our show suffers because I do 6 hours of sleep and touch base with 50 to 100 people every day.
Yeah,
our show suffers because of that. I'm not as good as I could be.
Okay, our
show suffers for a million different reasons. You still got to work, though. You know what I mean? You still got to pay those bills, and there's other things like where it's like, well, I mean, can you get somebody to pay your bills? No. Can you got to go for a
but you also have
job.
to also realize that while you're in this particular situation, so are thousands of others who are not only pursuing maybe similar dreams to yours, but those who have also had to go through those same channels to get to where they are. You can look at even more recent examples. You can look at even an actress like Emma Stone, a person who did the odd jobs, who did the waitressing and the bartending.
Oh, she started when she was 16, and her dad was best friends with Bruce Willis.
Well, that also
I think it's a little different.
There's a million examples of people being bartenders till they're 40.
The thing that's really important, I think, is that people feel like when you go through shit like that, you feel like you're the only one doing it, right? Like everybody else except for you has their shit together.
Yeah.
And so it feels more embarrassing than it otherwise needs to be, and like nobody has their shit together, right? Like,
so true.
So good. Like, good example of this. My dad, he would tell he was upstanding and law abiding and this, that, and the other, and always had a good job.
Right.
He lost a job when he was 50-ish and had a new. He was unemployed for literally 3 days. His division got laid off, hired a new job, whatever. He died suddenly, unexpectedly. When that happens, shit gets turned up that you wouldn't want other people to find. He had mid 5 figures in credit card debt that nobody knew a fucking wink about.
Are you talking about your dad?
Yeah. So everybody has that shit. Everybody has shit that that you would never know about, unless it goes tits up, and then all of a sudden it's
whoop, exposed.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And then I think that's important to keep that perspective, and not in that way that, you're hoping that if your parents pass away one day, you find out they're real skeletons. No, I don't think along those lines, but I think you have to also acknowledge that a lot of people are going through a lot of things to get to where they presently are trying to get. And it's very easy, especially, again, coming back to the social media days of you going on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook and seeing people with the happy selfies with the beach in the background.
We talk about that.
And the bottle service
and
the people in the club.
Nobody posts their dark shit on Facebook.
There you go.
Anytime I do,
there you go.
Anytime I do, people just turn the other way.
Because
and
they
I'm
don't want to see it because everybody wants to put up. Everyone wants to put out the face that they want everyone else to see.
And as a social media manager, certified as that, my Facebook presence is on point. And so I get shit from people in public. It's like, oh, your happy life. I'm like, no. Let's talk about being real. Let's talk about what really is happening. And those high def photos are not what's real. That was a day shoot.
Right.
The rest of the time we have some things to work out.
Oh, well, that's the thing. People are like, oh, you looks like you have so much fun. Oh, don't get me wrong, we love this and all these things, but so what do we post the most of? Pictures with famous people, right? When they come through. That's gonna draw attention. It's fun.
It's great for the presence.
It's great. Yeah, it's great for all that stuff. But then they're like, well, yeah, it must be a fun life. And yeah, it would be if we worked for a giant station where I got to show up, do the show, and leave.
But also
But no, I don't.
human stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
don't
doesn't
post-
matter.
Right.
I don't post whenever I'm on my 50th conversation with the same person negotiating terms of
Right.
an ad agreement. You know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
like you got to love what you do,
Totally.
or you'll just go fucking
Or at
crazy.
least like love the goal you're working towards, and
that's a
just
good
like
point.
keep that in mind. Because if I think about the things I'm doing right now,
And that's a good point to put it. And I think, if anything, like Chris said, even just to put a positive bow on this aspect.
Oh, I've got an exercise we're gonna do to make it real positive.
Okay, very well. But in
Yay!
regards to that, I think that goal, having that goal, because again, I don't know if you got a chance to check it out this past weekend, but the Emmy Awards, and I know
I can't even watch
they
it. I
can
just
be
get
a
jelly.
little bit superficial, and often people will consider it trivial. But I see a guy like Donald Glover, and I go, Donald Glover's similar to my age. He essentially went down a particular route that I've gone down before. So when you see people who you become familiar with their story, you see what they go through to get to where they are, you recognize that, you know, it is not only possible, but that's that feeling, or that's the pinnacle you want to try to achieve. And I think that can give you peace of mind as you go through your
I
trauma.
literally
Yeah.
a guy that went to Mizzou that's from Webster Groves, we talked about on the radio show, won an Emmy. I worked with him at Olive Garden, and we all not laughed. We were like, "Good luck, man."
who is he? What did he
Dan
do?
Passion, he's a producer for The Voice.
The voice.
Okay.
He went out there to like be an intern at Comedy Central and like had an idea for a Family Guy version of a cartoon with penguins, and we were all like, best of luck, man. Like, that's good. And we weren't best friends or anything. I just remember this happening.
Yeah.
Like, wow, what a crazy thing. Hope you kill it, man. And then, you know, what are we at? 14 years later, 12 years later, whatever. He's got that. And I guarantee you that guy still struggles and busts his ass
Of
and
course.
questions what he's doing.
Totally.
sometimes.
I think that's
And he's
the-
holding up an Emmy. You know?
Right.
Yeah, Chris and I had talked about this before, actually, how like as a woman, sometimes as being like a pretty woman,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to work as hard because a lot of things have been handed to you.
Since you were 3 months old.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, give her what she wants, give her what she wants. And I thought, like, I had a father who was telling me no all of the time.
Yeah.
Like, no. And I think that has a lot to do why I like push so hard for what I want. But I think it's also like so confusing as I'm going through this job process. Like when it's auditioning for things, I'm gonna nail it. Just because that's what I've been doing since I was 12. But when it comes to like
That's
real
crazy.
life,
You've been acting for 21 years
yeah.
ish.
It was like, well, that's the thing. I like started doing, I would do something safe. It was like back and forth. But when you say it like that, I'm like, 21 years.
That's wild.
That's
I mean,
a
my
long
first role was
time.
16 years ago, so let's not go crazy.
You're what?
I said my first role was 16
What
years
did
Right.
you
ago.
do?
Right.
No, fuck no. I was at a freshman play. I was
But
kidding.
that's the thing.
I was joking.
Oh, I was like, oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
No,
Jeff
fuck
is a-
no.
is a
But that's
thespian.
the
I
thing.
didn't know.
Like, it's if you're a
We're all
professional
cool.
I died
after
on,
what,
I died
10
on
years?
stage once.
Nice.
Like, you're considered a professional after 10 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, there's a lot of work.
I'm about to
you
say,
can
look at
Chris
it
is
this
the
way.
one who got this
Because
far.
Your
here's
other
the
option is you can go live in LA and
Right.
waitress there.
the other thing is you've been putting in dues for 21 years, whereas I figured out what I wanted to do like literally a year and a week ago.
2 years ago for us.
So-
But that's the thing. I
like-
don't think I was putting in the dues. I think I was dabbling, and then I dove like
yeah.
nosedive.
No, you're right. If
yeah.
you had been doing what you're doing now when you were 20, you'd be, yes.
Yeah.
That's true. But I know we don't talk about it much, but Adam Carolla talks about that. He worked so hard because he didn't really start. Like he had a goal of like being better when he was like cleaning carpets right out of high school, right? Picking up trash on construction sites,
Right.
like true grunt stuff that like he would fight with immigrants for jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like illegal people. Like he was doing the stuff that illegals would do. So you have these opportunities that can come up after that. But like him, he's like, man, I didn't get started till I was 30, and now he's just pumping out work.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he's making up for lost time, and that's probably what we're all doing. Really, we don't have journalism degrees. We started a radio show because we thought it would make us more money than a podcast.
Totally.
2 years ago with zero experience. It's a wonder we're still here. It's insane.
Did you all have jobs as you were starting this
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm about
Yeah.
to say I would have been, boy, my hands would have been tired from on the hand jobs I would have had to hand out. over the last
Yeah,
26
man. I'm
months.
like negative dollars.
Here's the thing that I really think about sometimes. I feel like Travis might have been my waiter one time, but I don't know it for sure.
Wait,
Really?
In Columbia?
At Bailey's.
At Bailey's?
Yeah.
I
I
was
was the general
I was the
manager.
general manager.
Okay, then maybe not. Okay,
You may have
I feel like I
ran
saw you there.
food.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got
wow.
told, like every once in a
Yeah.
while, I'm like, I saw Travis there. Once.
Yeah, I used to run the restaurant
For
there.
sure, yeah,
and
yeah.
That, yeah, like I said, and in that regard, in that vein, Jada, like, yeah, Chris and I have done our fair share of
Well, then
jobs.
he was
Lord knows
coaching.
I have. I was coaching and
Do you know how many
running
times
a restaurant.
he would
and-
miss a show through no fault of his own, other than just us being poor planners, maybe, and not planning 4 days ahead for it. But he would miss a show, and then I got to do a show for 3 hours. That's a shitty conversation to have when you're freaking out.
You're just talking to yourself.
Well, I'm not necessarily. I'm just
Oh.
saying the action. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But the action of you're not making much money at the time, which we ended up doing pretty well with that show, but not making much money, and then on top of it, you're not really very good at what you're doing already. And then
Well,
no-
you're
and
certainly
then
not,
those
you're
live-
not as sure of yourself as you are now. And again, you're navigating a field that you're not familiar. You're in a world you're not familiar with. You're not. And again, considering where we were coming from previous occupations and previous experiences, you're not always immediately trusting of everyone
No.
as well. So you're also dealing with the politics and you're dealing with the egos in the room, and it's a different world.
Well,
So
think about your side of that, where like at the time I'm like, where are you at? And you're like, I'm fucking paying my bills. Is what I'm doing.
well, it was
Yeah.
a matter of trying to balance, and balance is always at the end of the day very difficult to do. And it was a matter of me trying to take care of my financial responsibilities and also trying
Take
to
a risk.
pursue something and jumping off that bridge.
I
as
love you
spoke
guys
about.
so much.
Yeah,
well,
so-
that's why
This
it's
makes me
hard.
feel so much better.
I know we were all joking earlier or whatever, but if someone were to ever come at me like, what did you do? I'd be like, fuck you. What did I do? You talk about sacrifice. And yet, again, we're talking about radio. We're not talking about giving up a limb for
Right.
something, but you do have those things that you have to just power through.
So
what was the goal? I'm curious. What is this goal that you wanted to wrap?
Oh
this-
no! So let's bring it back to a positive note.
Okay.
We'll get the hell out of here in this hot ass studio.
are you all sweating? Is it still hot?
I'm sweating and
I can see
I'm
Jeff's
currently
face.
pre
safe.
sweat. I'm pre.
I mean, these are like from all day.
My
Yeah.
leggings
Oh,
don't really breathe. That's a bad
all
thing.
right, Jeff. All the hard work you're putting in, all the media growth you're trying to get a hold of, the risks you're taking.
Hey,
What do you? What's the ultimate? Everything or most things work out. Where are you at?
Don't pull punches.
In a couple years.
in 2 years, I'm writing the beat for the Carolina Hurricanes in their
Nice.
Raleigh
Why there?
jerk trip. I mean, because that's a shitty like low level job.
Oh, okay. So you're being realistic. You're saying,
Like,
oh,
in
I can
two-
work
like,
my way
in,
up.
in 2 years, everything works out perfect. Yeah. I'm the beat guy for a team that nobody cares about.
Oh,
There
that's
you
a
go.
good one. What do you
Jada?
got?
Me, I book a part on a long running television series that's like award winning.
How do you do that from St. Louis?
That's the thing. I probably won't be able to.
You gonna move?
I think so.
Chicago, LA, New York?
I don't know. We haven't decided yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a group decision.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Is he
well-
trying to pursue a creative?
Well, we're pursuing the
Field?
same thing.
No, that's what I mean. So, but he
Yeah.
already has a career.
Yeah, he's a consultant, but the plan is like whenever we get to a place where we're comfortable and our companies trust us to where we can like relocate and maybe work there or work somewhere else. Like maybe it's 5 years, maybe it's whatever. Like it's an extended period of time, but for me, ideally in 2 years through like just faith and hard work, maybe there'll be an audition in St. Louis and I'll be able to land a part on a reoccurring television show.
Nice.
And I just get to like be that every single day. And then I can start putting more effort into like women's rights and women's activists and like be just like be able to provide financial support to women and girls who don't have it. So like my success will only help other people's success. That's
Sure.
how I always think of it. And that's what keeps me going is like, great, I'm going to do this thing because I know I'm capable, but how many people can I help at the end of that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
got, Chris?
I don't know. That's a weird thing because we're working on a few different fronts, right?
Yeah.
We have live shows that we want to do more of. The podcast network has not received the attention I would have liked it to receive out of the gate
Okay.
because morning radio is the, albeit tough route, but much quicker road to paying bills than a podcast network
Sure.
and live shows, right? So either having an established, financially viable with 20 employees radio show / station that we're a part of with some sort of a successful touring aspect
Okay.
and also podcast growth and some line opened in, I'll say Los Angeles, doesn't have to be there, in an entertainment field, whether that's a
Market,
TV show or it's a simulcast of a podcast, you know what I mean?
Right.
Something entertainment driven that this amazing network that we've built in Los Angeles, where there are all these entertainers, pays off. I mean, there's no, like, me and Ian didn't decide to do a podcast together because we were best friends, right? He was like, "Oh, this guy has."
You were
the
like,
time
"He's
to do
white,
it,
I'm white. Let's do it."
But what I'm saying is, there's a reason me and you go to Los Angeles if we can, right? To go do that, we make those inroads, and we have all these great connections. So, if something could come of that, TV wise, or whatever this turns into, because I think it's going to turn into 3 more different things probably when it's said and done. Because I mean, that Target Practice Live. What if that's a TV show? I mean, I've seen shittier ideas go to TV.
Real.
You know what I mean? So you have something like that. So kind of vague in my experience, in my
good direction.
statement. But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's where I'm thinking. What
I
about
don't think
you?
it's super. I don't think it's vague at all. I think the thing is like the ultimate goal of everyone. And I don't want to speak for you, Travis,
No,
yet
go
because
for
you
it,
haven't
please.
answered. But it's like we want success in the thing that we love to do the most.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like everyone here loves to get paid to talk.
I would.
What do you want to do? Let me guess. You want to write on a TV show and then broadcast when you feel like it?
And then do stand up.
No, if he wanted to do stand up, he'd be doing it 4 nights a week now.
It's along those lines almost. I would imagine that Rihanna and I are working on our second child.
Sure.
That's a given.
Right.
But no,
Umbrella,
career wise,
umbrella.
look. It's
That's the little girl's name.
the blueprint.
Umbrella.
Right, umbrella. Yes.
Bella Terrell.
That's fine with me. Even if a girl named Rihanna could just procreate with me, I would settle for that in 2 years. But I
live in a box, but I bang Rihanna.
But
I'm gonna Uber now.
Right.
Tell every single person you
I
pick up.
got a
I
tangent when
Uber,
Travis has an
but
answer.
that's my
After
girl.
Travis is, I have an idea.
No, but I think ultimately
Umbrella.
I think we've seen it recently. It's very clear that platforms like a Hulu or a Netflix are continually looking for original content, and they're ultimately going through smaller media companies in order to get that content. Like Chris just said, this thing could look like 2-3 different things in about a couple years.
I don't want to forget. I'm saying this We Are Live thing that we're doing, a version of that on a Netflix where you have video and things like that with it. You have a couple sketches that accompany it, and you have current events for 1 hour. 2 times a week. Do you know how good that would be?
I just think,
Let's make a vision board. We'll make a vision board next podcast.
I just think just based on the path we have currently
completely
taken.
cut off your thing. Sorry.
No. The path we have currently taken.
Why'd you do that,
the
Chris?
connections and the contacts we've made. I think that the media entity that we've established, I would like to think in 2 years, we're in a position where we are creating content for a large network or a large media outlet like a Netflix, like a Hulu. And I honestly believe that within 24 to 26 months, we will likely be there. And I'm not even going as far as to go Joe Namath and say I guarantee. But aside from us just either killing each other, if we have gone this far without killing each other, literally like almost
it's a
wanting
point
to
of
take
no
us out
return.
back. Yeah, we're at the point where this is my squad, this is my team, and if you want to keep going that route, if you have desires to be the next Donald Glover or be the next big show that maybe or the best big thing that comes out of St. Louis, I believe we are that.
Yeah.
And I that's where I see us in 2 years.
I want that for all of us.
I think we're there.
Tangent time.
Who do you guys think is the most famous person who has banged a person who is currently homeless?
Because
Travis
Kevin Federline.
Because Travis said he
Angelina Jolie,
Travis said he
for
could live in a
sure.
box and bang Rihanna. So what's the equivalent? Like, has Daniel Day-Lewis banged the homeless lady? Like, what
No.
Whoever used to party that doesn't party anymore, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
someone
yeah.
that they slept with went off the rails in a substance
That's
abuse
the
thing.
answer.
Brad Pitt.
I mean, that's a depressing answer. I was hoping there was a funny answer, but
I
instead it's
know.
just like
I was
somebody's
going to say,
no.
who slept with
Way to go, Jeff.
Who slept with Randy Quaid?
I just channeled
Yeah.
Carly.
I just
Way to go, Jeff.
I watched the Randy Quaid fuck tape. Did you watch that?
No.
I
didn't
was,
know there was one.
You did
gotta-
just call it a fuck tape, too.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
a
to
little
funnier.
weird.
watch.
I mean,
It's
I
way
was
funnier.
tapes. You got to leave some parts of the internet alone, Jeff. You really have to.
Look, when it comes across my desk.
I think ultimately,
Nude on your laptop in your bed is not your desk. Jeff.
I think if you really want to look at the blueprint, Kevin Federline really created one where like
He's still alive.
He good. He's still alive.
He
That's
probably
all.
gets. He probably
has
gets.
a window.
He probably gets alimony, right?
I'm sure he does get
Oh
alimony.
my gosh, that's so much money.
So exactly.
I wish I would have married
Kevin
Britney
Federline was
Spears.
like, hey man, that was a crazy 3-year window, but she mine. I got her. So
Two
He probably
kids
gets
with
double
her?
alimony.
Two
Doesn't-
kids.
Doesn't he have a kid with like some other actress?
yeah, he's moved on. They both have moved on, and they've doing their own things now.
Is he a
but
dancer? Is that
He
his
was
thing?
a dancer.
He was.
That's
Backup
how he
dancer,
became,
yeah.
And that's how him and Chris became friends.
You think he does like club openings? Like,
Hopefully.
could we get
Good,
Kevin Federline to show up to the second anniversary party? What's the fee you think on Kevin Federline?
that is something we need
Can
to
we
look
talk
into.
about this anniversary party? I want to know when it is.
Anniversary.
I'll give you the date. We can't announce the
Anniversary.
location yet. October 21st.
Okay.
10 a.m. to midnight.
And then what is this
No
other thing we have
excuses.
going
10,
on?
21, 17.
Can we have a costume contest at the anniversary party? It's
Please.
almost Halloween.
I think we'll do that. Travis and I are competing at Punderdome on October 28th.
Ooh.
Maybe we'll go up on stage dressed as something.
Are you all going to come to my show, the Rocky Horror Show?
What's the date?
October 13th, 14th,
Can make
and
that
then
happen.
21st, 22nd.
We also
Can I come dressed as Columbia?
I hope so.
we also need to figure out what's going on with your show on the 6th.
Oh, what's happening?
What's
all coming
tell
together.
the people about it.
So, Jeff and Travis
Heyo.
are underrated and undersexed, and the Not So Sexy podcast is going to try to remedy that situation. So we're going to have a live show.
I can stay
relationship
It's a
underrated.
live dating show.
Yeah.
I can stay underrated.
From
but
my
If
babies.
you
Here's
can
the thing.
fix the undersexed part, sure, but the
J-
underrated part, I'm fine.
Jada and I were talking about this. Like, not only can
Oh
I
my
not afford
God,
to have a
he's
girlfriend,
so
I can't afford
funny.
to have a one night stand.
Let me just read. Let me read the text because it's so good. And meanwhile, I'm in communication with Nathan Orton, who will be closing the show by
Brother of the
giving
show.
you all the pickup lines that you're going to need
Oh,
in
God,
order.
I'm gonna be
I don't need.
taking
Look, no.
pickup lines from Nathan.
Oh, you do
No.
though.
Nathan's material does not work for me because Nathan's material is I'm a comedian who can flex. I can't do any of that shit. Like the stuff that works for Nathan
I'm
is not my
cluing
thing.
him in on your psychology. You guys know me. I'm going to look at you through a sociological lens. I'm
Oh,
going to
God.
understand all parts of you, and then we're going to make them
He's just gonna give us
specific to
his
who
scraps.
you are.
He is gonna go through.
No,
he's
our
gonna go
meeting-
through his phone.
Let me just praise this guy for a second. Our meeting, I go into the meeting, and he's preparing for a set on Sunday night where he goes to Helium, and it's like a little bit of a stand-up like gameplay thing. I don't understand it, but you get a topic and then you make jokes based on that. So we're sitting, and he's writing down everything. There's no cracking jokes. He's listening to me so closely, making sure that he gets every detail he needs to be able to create these pickup lines for you all.
Look at
Wait,
He
you guys.
cares.
you already met with him and you gave him your assessment of our personalities.
Absolutely,
I
I
want you to
did.
write those down so we can read. What I want is for you to write down what you told Nathan about Travis and I, and then
my
he and I are going to
gosh.
record a podcast where we react to your reactions
Yes.
without
Okay.
you being in the room, and then you have to listen to it.
I'll
I
ask.
think that's fair.
Okay.
You guys get to give your assessment of her too.
That's fine.
Ooh,
I'll
that's
take it.
scary. Oh, that's scary.
This is the last We Are Live podcast.
I'm about to say, hey, this was a good run, wasn't it, guys? Great run.
Wouldn't
No,
it be
I
funny?
like
You know the
feedback.
episode of The Office where Michael leaves and he gets the note card, right, where it has everybody's information on it, and Dwight's just says tall, comma, beats. Wouldn't it be funny if that was what Jada had? Like Travis's is like black, comma, funny, and mine is like fat, comma, happy. And that's it. Like that's the
no,
whole.
I give you all
the
more
whole
credit
note
than
card.
No,
that.
I've erased it after today.
Yeah,
We're
right.
happy.
Called that shit
But
up.
Chris, I have a question. I need to ask you this, and it's best to do it on
Uh-oh.
air. Are you feeling left out? And is there a way that I can incorporate you into the show so that you do
no.
not?
Yeah, would you
No,
like to be
no,
part of the dating show?
I hope it's a major success. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's a really cool idea.
I feel like you're like the pop of this, and I'm like coming to you for advice and like how to make
Pop
it
Chris is-
happen.
Pop gets a treat.
I'm about
Yeah,
to say
not
Chris is-
grandpa, but like the young dad.
Yeah, Chris is
That's
Richard
like
Dreyfuss. of the
everybody
We Are
wants to
Live
hang out
family.
with.
No,
Yeah.
Chris is oversexed and overrated.
Chris is Richard Dreyfuss. I'm Glenn Healy, and Travis is the deaf son.
you like
Did no
that?
one else watch Mr. Holland?
No one?
Dreyfuss?
Anybody?
I didn't think people would reference it actually in our pod. But we have a Mr. Holland's open reference.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember when it was just us?
Aw,
Times like this
but
makes
then you
me-
opened up the
me remember
relationship.
Chris and I are in an open relationship. Yeah,
You want to find wider than Billy Joel, Mr. Holland fucking open.
Jeff sat in here and was real serious playing live Billy Joel for all of our enjoyment.
It's the last concert at Shea Stadium.
And boy, did that make me realize how fucking boring a live Billy Joel show would be.
So boring.
I've seen like 3. They're so good.
I appreciate Jeff's nuanced love of basically what should play in like a
Jeff,
mall
please tell me
department
there's
store.
pyro. Please tell me like a Whitney
lights.
Houston impersonator comes on at some point.
You
Tell
give me a white man and a piano, I'm good.
Oh,
What's everybody got something fun? Are you going to go to the Billy Joel show?
Maybe. I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm going to Sturgill at the Fox.
You got Sturgill Simpson at the Fox. What about your
Ooh.
weekend plans?
me? What is happening this weekend? Oh my gosh. I don't
Blues are
know.
at home Saturday night.
Yeah, that's baseball.
Something like that.
Yeah, the club.
It's a sports
Field
ball.
hockey.
There we go.
That's closer.
Water polo.
Good note to end on, everybody.
Wait, can I just read Jeff's text message about his dating situation?
Oh, Jeff, I'm
No,
sorry.
go for it. It's good.
October 6th, 2017 at the Monocle. You'll hear more about it. But he goes, for the record, I'm definitely too broke to date someone and potentially too broke for a one-night stand since I'd feel guilty not buying breakfast in the morning. My response, it's 2017. Ladies have the right to their own checking account, last I heard. Duh, but I have manners. That's Jeffy. Who wouldn't want to date him?
There you go.
We're going to figure it out.
Oh, man. Anything else? Look out for weareliveradio.com. We're going to expand content on there and more good things coming next week. If you're listening now, what is it? The 28th of September, we have John Venegoni, Stefan Hightower, and Tina D-Ball doing comedy at Joey B's on the Landing. 8 o'clock Thursday night. You can take the Peppers shuttle bus from South City if you want to ride with Travis and I. And then mark it down October 21st is our second anniversary party. October 6th is Jada's show at the Monocle. October 28th, Travis and I doing Punderdome together against a bunch of really talented comics. And it's going to suck for them when we whoop their ass.
That's damn right. That's how we
That's
roll.
at Del Mar
son.
Hall, and it will be sold out.
Oh, wait, what?
It's at Del Mar Hall.
Oh, I thought this was going to be back at the Duck Room in Blueberry Hill.
Nope.
So it's a larger venue.
Like probably 300 and something
I'm
people.
like,
That's
I'm like,
horrifying.
Chris bury the lead. Chris will tell me something, get me ready for it, then 3 days later go, yeah, this is going to be at Scott Trader. Wait, what? What? You should have told me. You should have let off with that. Oh, that's fine. That'll be fine.
Yeah, we have to prepare for that.
No,
We
I'm
get our
gonna go
asses
cry, and now it's all my anxiety. Now it just raises to the top of my head. No, it should be fun. I'm excited.
whooped. Anything else? Anybody? Any plugs? Anything else?
No, I think this therapy session was good for everyone. I think we
Does
can go about
everyone
our
feel
day
a little
again.
lighter?
Jeff needs to get in the air conditioning.
Honestly, I'm looking at the clock and I'm like doing the math for how long my nap gets to be this afternoon.
That'll do it.
Welcome
We
to
are
30.
live.
Gonna make some soup, do some yoga, and take a nap. Nap.
We'll see you later this week.